The Mavericks just like they constantly come out of games, whether it's the start of the first quarter, start of the third quarter, just not giving a single fuck, right? Like they just look so pathetic and so lethargic so often, and it leads to games like this where you dig yourself way too deep of a hole and you have absolutely zero chance of coming back. Absolutely no chance of coming back in this game. The Mavericks 16-2 was the start of the game. Like the Cavs started the game 16-2. It's going to be impossible for you to win games like that. And it happens so often for this team. So, I don't know. This was such a sad showing, man. It's like, as the time goes on, I've been patient with this team. I've given them the benefit of the doubt. I said, hey, look at these numbers. Look at this. Like, this is a good team that's just underachieving right now and maybe have some bad luck going their way. No, at this point, right, we're almost 30 games in the season now. You're about to be 14-14. You are who you are. You are who you are. This is a huge talent discrepancy, too, here. By the way, like a huge talent discrepancy. The Cavs have Luka's obviously the best player on the floor in between these two, although Donovan Mitchell played him tonight. Like, Luka's the best player on the floor. The Cavs probably have 2 through 9, like no joke, like 2 through 6 at least is the Cleveland Cavaliers. So a gigantic talent discrepancy in this game, which is obviously the story of the season. It continues to be. Luka did not play well. I mean, he had a good second half, I guess, but overall didn't play well. Christian Wood played good, I guess. Reggie is shooting well lately, so that's good to see for the Mavericks. And that's pretty much it. Just another sad showing. Under 70% from the free throw line again. 3-point shooting is 37%, but it's just, again, a 16-2 hole, man. Going to be hard to win games when you're constantly giving up runs like that. When you're constantly giving up runs, it's going to be next to impossible for you to win consistently. And also, by the way, here's a new development. Luka's body language is like legitimately the worst it's ever been. It's like, this clear and obvious frustration at the team, at his teammates. Ignore this. Ignore the weird rash. Okay, there's no weird rashes happening. The only weird rash is the rash the Mavericks fucking give me from stress. Because it's even possible to get a rash from stress. Anyways, Luka walks off the court. You tell Dudley's like, oh shit, is Luka talking here or is he just staring down Mark? Just look at this image. Just look at this image. Look at this still. Look at this fucking image. Oh my God. This is so funny. That is honest to God hilarious. And then you had this one later. Luka getting mad at, I think, Christian Wood for not swinging a pass back to Dodo. We've seen this lately. Like we have. We've seen Luka get very upset and angry. Was this the one where he almost kicked the stanchion? Yep, there he is over there, almost kicking the stanchion. This one we've seen before, right? Like we've seen Luka get mad at himself. Luka get mad at the refs. We've seen that. That's a pretty common occurrence. But Luka having this like outward anger towards the team itself, I think that's new. So that's something to keep an eye on moving forward, man. I don't know. I just, it is starting to feel like this team can only win if you are like just raining threes, right? Like, let's just take a look. The Thunder game, you shot, I mean, it's not even like this was a pretty win. This was just an ugly, you shot 40%. It'd be interesting to see how many games have the Mavericks won this season where they've shot under 40% from three. That's an incredibly high number. Like, I don't think there's a team in the league right now that's averaging 40% from three, actually. So unless you're the best shooting team in basketball, it seems like this team's gonna have a hard time winning games. Let's see this Nuggets game. I don't think they shot well in this Nuggets game, if memory serves correctly. Oh, I'm sorry, 47%. Never mind. I must be thinking about another Nuggets game. Probably the one that they lost. I know this one against the Suns. They shot lights out. Yeah, 48%. I'll actually do some research into this after and see how many times, like, what's the Mavericks record whenever they don't shoot 40+% from three as a team. Yeah, I mean, 36% is not terrible, but I guess it really only shows that you have to shoot lights out, I guess. So, again, you see tonight, if Luka doesn't play well, and he didn't play well in the first half, you have next to no chance of winning this game. Like, there are other games where, like, Luka's stats aren't great, like the win against the Nuggets on the road. Luka's stats weren't great, but I actually thought he played pretty well. I thought he made the right reads. I thought he made the right passes. He drew so much attention from the defense. Tonight, he was horrible in the first half of this game, and you're just going to have a really hard time. Donovan Mitchell couldn't miss. He started the game, like, 7 of 7 or something. So, yeah, I mean, Donovan Mitchell showed up. And as I was mentioning earlier, when you have these like incredibly slow starts and the other team's superstar shows up, you're gonna have a really, really hard time winning games. And I just don't know. A lot of things. I just have a lot of opinions about this team. I mean, I don't like Luka's body language. I don't. I've gotten shit on for it relentlessly for saying it. I don't think that it's good for your superstar to have body language like that regularly. I want Luka to be upset. Don't get me wrong. Like, I want Luka to be mad. I want him to be pressing the front office. I want him to be pressing the coaching staff. But I want it to be behind closed doors, obviously, naturally. I don't want it spilling out onto the court. And I just think as the leader, as the best player, as a de facto leader, you just can't have times where it's painfully obvious to everyone watching the game that something is wrong. Like, that shouldn't be the case, man. That shouldn't. I would understand like an outburst here or there, like once a game or whatever, but it's kind of semi-regularly. It's kind of semi-regular with Luka at this point, which is fucking sucks. He was becoming sick to watch. Yeah, they're not a fun team to watch at all. Like, they're just not. They're 100% not a fun team to watch at all. I want them to hold these bums accountable on the court. Well, listen, man, like, it's one thing to be like, hey, you gotta play better. Hey, you gotta do this. Hey, you gotta do this. It's another thing to just melt down. The way that we see sometimes. That's just how I feel. I've been saying that forever. I've been saying that literally for like 2 years now for Luka. Like, you can go back to some of the first Mavs videos on this channel. I'm still saying the same things. So let's see. A lot of time to turn this thing around, I guess. Still, I mean, it is only December. What are you talking about? You want Luka mad but not to show it? I don't want him showing it on the fucking floor. Why is that such a difficult concept to understand? Why is that such a difficult concept to understand? And why is that such a hard thing to imagine? Those things happen regularly. Like holding players accountable, getting onto players, having arguments. That happens for every fucking team that's ever existed at any level. But it shouldn't spill out onto the floor as regularly as it does. It just shouldn't. That's how I feel. Luka isn't mad on the floor. He's crying, pouting. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's not like it's an actual frustration. Like, hey, you gotta do this. All right, let's go. It's like a. Failing to play, not getting back. That's what it is. And I understand, like, he's going to have bad games. I get it. Like, I understand. Like, bad games happen. I understand it 1,000%. Luka's banging his head against a wall with this team, but you want him to still be up and going. Why? Why not? What do you mean, why? What do you mean, why? Because that's what he's supposed to fucking do as the best player on the team and the de facto leader. Those are the expectations everyone's held to. By the way, it's not just a Luka thing. Jesus Christ. I know you said this Mavericks team could be good, but that's some BS. This team will make playing at best. You think maybe Kid front office voted to tank the season? And the only no vote was from Luka? That would be so funny, but no, I don't think. Like, Cuban would never do that. Ajayi, did I say that right? I hope so. Thank you so much for the $5 donation. Look how hard it takes for the Mavs to score even last season. If 3 ain't going as hard, the roster is not sustainable. I mean, last season, though, a lot of it had to do with Brunson being here. Like, they could score in other ways. Beyond that, you know, I think they led. I was talking about this on stream. I think they led the team, or they led the league and come from behind wins, like down 10 plus and winning the game. I think they led the league in that. This year, it feels like the game is over immediately. You know, it feels like the game is over immediately whenever that happens. Dallas ain't a basketball city? Man, yes, it is. Holding a player accountable is not a big deal. It's really not. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over. Luka's at his breaking point. No, he's not, because Luka has continuously done this over the years. It's just now that it's leaking out, and it's because of the guys on the court, his teammates. Sometimes it's being mad at the refs, being mad at himself. His body language has always been an issue, man. It just has been. Like, I hate having this huge argument every time I bring it up when Luka has a bad body language game, but it's just true. Like, man, you're a top, in my opinion, you're a top 1 player on the planet. You get held to different standards. That's just the reality. Okay? That's just the reality. You're held to different standards with your performance and just with the way that you carry yourself. I know his team. I know the supporting cast is bad. I know. I understand that. And I think it's fine. I think it's fine to get angry about it, but in the right time, in the right place. Like, I hope he does. So anyways, Mavs 9-0 whenever they shoot over 40% is what somebody said. I mean, that's not surprising. Like, shooting over 40% from 3 is a great clip. So, like, you expect to win those games always. But it just goes to show that, what does that mean? That the record is 5-13 when they don't shoot over 40% from 3? Like, that's insane. So that does go to show if you're not making 3. I mean, the Cavs shot 33% from 3 and they fucking blow us out. Once Mavs and Kid understand that they have to take risks, knowing that there may be consequences, they will never eclipse last season's Western Conference Finals. It's not just bad, it's bottom tier. Luka isn't a god, bro. He can't be everything everyone wants. Fine. And then I won't ever say anything bad about him. It's not even like I'm saying fuck Luka. Like, I hate him. I can't believe he acts like that. I'm saying he needs to get better. And it just does. Like, I don't know. Like, whenever you guys act like this, it makes me think you guys do not watch other teams. And I hate when people say that because it's just such an asshole thing to say. But that's what I think. Why not get angry? I want him to get angry. I don't want him to pout on the floor. Anything less than the final is a wasted year with Luka on the roster. I mean, I agree with you. I agree. The Mavericks are fucking him. Like, I'm not blaming everything on Luka. I'm not even blaming 10% of it on Luka. Notice it's all not about his play. It's body language. I mean, dude, it's pretty hard to question his play. Like, I think he's legitimately the best player on the planet. Okay? Need a players only meeting with lots of chairs and trash cans? Yeah, and by the end of it, there should be no functioning chair or trash can left in the locker room.